It is time for the Writer's Block, our weekly look at sports, and more sports. I'm Jenni Carlson here in the newsroom of the Oklahoman, joined by Cedric Golden in the newsroom of the Austin American-Statesman. Hello, friend.
What's up, Jen?
Hey, lots going on. You know, we've officially moved out of football season, but still got some football to talk about. But we got to start with this, Cedric. A week ago, we talked about how poorly the Houston Astros had handled the public relations of the cheating scandal that basically came to a head in the offseason. And then Major League Baseball said, hold my beer. Let me show you how to really bungle PR. Everybody from the commissioner on down, it's just been a nightmare for Major League Baseball.
I think Rob Manfred, if he was trying to get fired, is doing a hell of a job right now, Jen, because he has been brutal. He called the trophy with his name on it a piece of metal. He goes, asking them to return a piece of metal is a futile effort. I'm like, a piece of metal? Those guys, the one thing I know about baseball players, Jen, and we've been around a lot of them, they are the most boyish professional athletes out there. When a guy throws a no-hitter, they're dogpiling, they're big on practical jokes. Yeah, they're millionaires, but to me, they are really after a championship. These guys want to win, just like football, just like basketball. And for him to devalue that trophy like he did, it just made him come across as just a complete buffoon.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it just feels like whether it was the Astros and their press conference and Jim Crane or the Major League Baseball commissioner, other people, it feels like they're trying to sort of tamp down the fire, and instead they're just throwing gas on it. Almost every time they open their mouths, there's something else that really stokes the fire out there about this whole situation. Now you've got players just, speaking of scorching Major League Baseball's leadership, just really taking people to task. And to me, it's not tamping down anything. It's just making it worse. Frankly, if I'm a PR person, I'm calling Major League Baseball, I'm calling the Astros and saying, just stop talking. No more talking for a while. This is how to bungle public relations, how to make it worse. And Cedric, you wrote about this. People can go to statesman.com and see what you wrote about this issue, but you framed it around the fact that you've got Rob Manfred doing nothing very good for Major League Baseball. At the same time, we see Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, handling things so well in the aftermath of Kobe Bryant's death.
I know it's like a grown man on one side and the Keystone Cop on the other. And Adam Silver, and he hasn't always had easy calls to make in his tenure. And first of all, to replace a legend like David Stern is difficult enough. But then he's confronted with the Donald Sterling controversy with the racism. He bans Donald Sterling for life, and then Kobe dies. He seamlessly orchestrated this all-star weekend to become one of the most enjoyable weekends of the season, a great slam dunk contest, changed the rules of the all-star game to make it meaningful, make each quarter meaningful with charities attached. I think everything he touches turns to gold. And to me, everything Rob Manfred touches turns to coal. And there's a big difference between the two.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's even gotten to the point now where you're seeing LeBron James, for example, saying things that, he's even taken notice in the middle of the NBA season at a time when, he's obviously focused on what's going on with the Lakers. Now you see players in other sports saying, golly, what a mess over there. And Cedric, you bring up Donald Sterling, and Rob Manfred's made the point, I can't do much essentially to the Astros, to Jim Crane. The NBA took an ownership away from an owner. They did that, and yet Rob Manfred's saying my hands are tied. I can't punish the players. I can't punish the owner. It doesn't hold water to me, Cedric.
It doesn't. And what he could have done, and fining Jim Crane $5 million, Jen, that's like fining me or you $50. Oh, it hurts a little bit, but we're going to still eat tonight. You get me?
Yeah.
$5 million fine for an owner who's a billionaire. That's the Astros are worth so much money. That fine is like 1/20%. So it didn't really phase him to pay that money. You lose your manager and your GM. So what? You still got the trophy. It's still in your office. It's shined up and nice. History will remember you as the 2017 champions. History won't talk as much about the fact that you beat the Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, and LA Dodgers, who, by all intents and purposes, did not cheat. And those guys are really salty now. And a lot of them, like Aaron Judge, they are not holding their tongues, Jen. They are taking shots at Manfred, at the Astros, and it's all deserved. And the Astros have that Cheshire Cat smile as an organization. They know they got away with it. They're going to have to bear the brunt of the criticism. But at the end of the day, Jen, they still get to wear that championship crest. History will remember that they won it. But guess what, Jen? 100 years ago, the Chicago White Sox fixed a World Series, and we're still talking about them. They're the Black Sox now. And in 100 years, people still will be talking about the year the Astros stole a World Series.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly right. It's going to be really interesting to see how these next few weeks, months, and years even play out in relation to this scandal. I think people have made a lot of mentions of how many hit by pitches are the Astros going to have this year. That may become the 2020 Astros calling card, is hit by pitch. I think these guys are going to be marked. It's going to be interesting to see as trades happen and players that were involved in 17 and 19 with all of this, as they, they're not going to play for the Astros forever. I mean, those guys aren't going to be in Houston forever. So when they go to other places, how does that affect things? To me, I know he's a local guy. He went to high school here in the Oklahoma City area, but A.J. Hinch, the manager who was suspended for a year, then fired by the Astros, to me, if anybody has come out maybe not looking good, but looking at least not as bad as some of the folks along the way, I think it's A.J. Hinch. He did a one-on-one interview on MLB Network, apologized, said he was sorry, unlike some of these other guys that have sat behind microphones. So, I think there's going to have to be some contrition, or you're going to continue to see people just blasting, putting these guys on blast for a long time. I don't think this is going anywhere. Major League Baseball has done nothing to help squash any of this.